Ultra chill.
As the NFT ecosystem heats up, Ultra is proud to announce the firsts of many of the publishers for its new gaming platform. Today, we have with us Yves from Microids, our latest announced publisher. Yves is the SVP of Strategic Partnerships at Microids and has worked at companies like Namco Bandai, Atari, and Infogrames in the past. Last episode, we talked briefly about the incentives for game developers to create games that give gamers a positive experience. This week, we'll be talking about the business focus on NFTs, but for publishers and developers. We'll be covering how NFTs make for better economic models in games, how publishers and developers view play to earn, the problems with pay to win, and much more. I really love this episode. Let's get started.
Okay.
All right, thanks for joining us today. I wanted to start the discussion with a focus on the discussions that you guys have had in the recent past with recent publishers and developers, and kind of how blockchain and NFT technologies help businesses thrive. So first, I'd like to start with a little bit of the backstory between the relationship between Microids and Ultra.
Sure. So firstly, I want to welcome Yves from Microids here, and honestly, we've been speaking a lot recently in the years. It's really great. So we met up through Edward Moalem, who's our CSO. It was a fun time. We were at the Tokyo Game Show, I believe, and he was like, "Hey, there's Yves, my friend from France. You should join us here to have breakfast and discuss." And we ended up, and then since then we are having regular conversation, and we are working with Microids now on the publishing front.
Yeah, that's right. So it's been for Microids, definitely it's been a great opportunity to start to scratch the surface very early in these new technologies and new way of distributing games. So it's for us, it's a natural behavior to go and to go with the people like Ultra and specifically Ultra, and for that matter.
I'm curious about how wide the interest is in blockchain and NFT tech. Are most game developers aware of this movement, and what interests Microids in it?
Well, for us, it's a way to exploit our brand in different ways. In a new, for me, it's almost like a new media. It's a way to exploit, to give also the players ways to buy stuff that has unique value, to even resell at some points these items or these games. It's also a way to market our product a very different way, because today we're very limited with the current technology, and I'm not going to mention all the digital portal that are the stars of the game today. But what the technology, blockchain and NFTs propose for us is a unique way of offering to the player, because at the end of the day, what's important is the product, the game, and the players, and what we want to offer to the players the best experience. And we think they will see very soon fantastic ways to enjoy the game, to add value to what they're playing, and even to have some value for themselves in a way which was not the case before.
Maybe you want to go over a little bit about exactly what a publisher does and what your relationship is to developers?
We have two internal studios working on games. Most of our games are developed by subcontractors, by external studios. So our relationship is basically either we bring our IP to developers and they are going to develop games based on our IPs, or developers come to us with ideas and we're going to help them to develop. We're going to fund them and then exploit and publish for them, which means publishing is how to market and to put the product in front of the players. And today there are two different ways: the digital and retail and physical. Physical is still a big part of our business, but digital is growing month after month. And blockchain technology and NFTs will be the third way of I would say, publishing games in a way.
So you guys have a very close relationship with the developers that you work with, and I'm curious about how those developers view blockchain and NFT technology.
Oh, it's still very early, Rami, at this point. I think that we have not touched any game at this point that has that includes some NFTs or blockchain technology. It's something that we are little by little introducing in the future. But at this point, none of our games are including this. The thing that we are currently more interested in is the way we distribute games using this technology than using the technology within the game, if you follow me.
Interesting.
And therefore, it's a way to start to be familiar with this technology and and working. And the first relationship with Ultra is really towards distribution ways and optimizing our distribution network. That's really the way we see it. And then from there, obviously, there will be an experiment with a game that will include by itself, by game design, that would include the blockchain technology.
It's totally the thing is, if you're really tied to all the game publishers, when you can work with publishers, they can see the technology in action. They're like, wow, actually, it brings value to me, and I want to use the rest of what Ultra has to offer. So this is when you're like, okay, now I want to try the SDK. I want to add this new functionality to my new game. So this is really, I think, an amazing way for publishers to get familiar with Ultra and blockchain technology just by simply distributing the content, because there are no barrier to entry in a sense. There is no work to be done by the publishers. It's just provide the build, it's uploaded on the platform, it works. That's all that need to be done. And the NFT is automatically created and is working across the entire ecosystem. It can be used for tons of different purposes, like marketing or tournament prizes and all that. So this is, I think, great way to get the games industry acclimated to the technology.
I think those are really interesting answers, because generally when people talk about NFTs in the context of gaming, they're thinking about NFT items and in-game assets and things like that. But at Ultra, like, our core focus has been making the games themselves NFTs. And Yves' answer is really that publishers see that as something that brings a lot of value to them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's for us. It's a next step of how you're going to develop games, but you have to be careful about the way you're going to do it, because it's a new technology, and because it's a new technology, you want to apply that to probably new game design that are probably not existing now, or you have to adapt that. If we take I would say, simplest example is the MMORPG that includes stuff that you can buy, then probably the next generation of MMORPG would include from the game design the blockchain technology and NFTs in the game by itself that will impact the gameplay. That's, I would think, the important thing of it. It's not only buying and selling stuff that is important, is how buying and selling these NFTs is going to impact the gameplay by itself, which is something that is not exactly, we don't know exactly how it's going to affect and how it's going to please players, for that matter. So we have to be extremely careful and respect the players towards this technology, because it's something that is new. Because it's new, you have pros and cons. You have to be careful, and you have to respect their opinion, because today, as you know, we're in direct contact with these guys, like we are today with your community, and we have to respect and listen to what they have to say.
I think it's really important to remember that while games are used as entertainment by millions of users, to game developers and publishers, these are big businesses with really high stakes. I know that the estimated size of the industry in 2021 right now is at about $180 billion, with some projections into 2025 showing it growing to $250 billion. And as is commonly quoted, this is totally eclipsing the movie industry, which, I think that a lot of people don't really understand how big gaming has become. I'm curious about how Microids are looking to use NFTs in their games, and more specifically for their brand. So like while we're talking about the publishing and there are some plans for integration, I'm curious, like what does that integration actually mean?
On the short term, without disclosing the whole strategy around the NFTs, I think the first step, which I can gladly share with you guys, is to propose NFTs that don't have any impact in the game, but are going to promote the game by itself. Like we have the chance to have a subsidiary who is a figurine company. So we're making physical figurines for the promotion of our games. And if you go at retail, you can have those figurines when you buy an Asterix, a Smurfs, a Black Sad, or later on a Siberia, and we're going to propose NFTs that will use the design of those figurines, but in the digital world. It's a nice way to introduce NFTs to the players and explain that when they buy, they will have the promotion of buying. If they pre-order the game, they will have the digital version. They will have the possibility to have this NFT. They will have to understand that they own the stuff. It's not only a copy of something, it's a unique value, and that they can at some point resell it later on, and or keep it forever. That's like an art figurine, or what we do in the physical world. So that's a nice way, because the people therefore understand what it is. It's not like trying to create something that people don't get it. They get it right away, and from there we'll see the reaction. We'll see how people react to it, and therefore we'll go the next step, which is what I described earlier. Include really the NFT, the game design of our products.
The link between the physical and digital world today is complicated. And NFTs is really a really neat way to make this link happen. Even you go to a store, you buy a figurine, you go back home, and this figurine hold the NFT. You don't know which one it is. You scan your figurines, and boom, you can receive your NFT, which is maybe an insane amount of value. Maybe it's more common, but it incentivizes you to go to the store and purchase this figurine. The same way if you're online and you're like, oh, I'm gonna play this game, I'm gonna buy it, and I'm gonna play a tournament, and maybe I have a chance to receive a cool NFT, which allows me to claim a physical item, a figurine that I can put behind me while I'm playing. People are like, wow, he has this cool figurine, which is the NFT super rare, so he won this tournament. So it's both way works super well. And I think that's definitely one of the cool use cases we will see with NFTs in the coming years.
This is the way at Microids we see how we're going to tackle. And I'm not saying this is the probably the way that another publisher would do it, because our community today is very much mass market, and therefore family mass market oriented, and because of that, you have to be careful the way you tackle those things. It's not an easy thing to I would say to communicate. So we have to be very, very careful. But some other company may go maybe one step further than us right away, because they have already the community that understand what we're talking about. So it really depends on the DNA of each publisher. Probably I'm not going to mention some other publisher, but I know some that could go right away to be much more aggressive, or in the good way, ambitious with NFT than us, because we have a community that will not be familiar with this technology for a long time.
So I appreciate that there's like a spectrum of publishers, how they view blockchain and NFT technologies, from like very conservative to very explosive. And I'm curious, because what we're actually talking about here is how NFTs and blockchain technology could impact future growth, right? And I'm curious how you view blockchain and NFTs, and will it be a leading driver for future growth within Microids, but also within the larger gaming ecosystem?
It's a very good question. Yeah, I think if we are tackling this technology and this option, is that we believe that it will definitely be a big part on the long term. It's early to say how quickly it's going to, I would say, replace which I don't think it will. I think a little bit like you have like today you can play free casino or you can play not free casino, different technology, and people like to play casually and not and spending some virtual money that don't make any money, I would say, and it's fun. And the other side, you have another community that will be much more towards money oriented business or gaming, I must say. Therefore, for us, it will be another layer of how you can play games, but I don't think it's going to replace it. But it's definitely a growth factor for us.
I think as well in terms of how so this would impact the game industry, the game experience. There are multiple factors. One of which is really increasing the time you will spend in the game. Because if those games are providing you some extra value, like you can see, like people who play games for farming the games, right? That's been the case for like MMORPGs. Now, if you can earn some NFTs while playing the game, people will farm those games as well, which means the time spent will be increasing a lot, which means the game design, which might have to be adapted a bit to make sure there's enough content. In terms of social interaction as well, I think for the games industry, for the brands, is going to be critical. Like imagine you have, I don't know, like a peripheral company selling hardware like mice, for example, and keyboards. If they have like if their community has some level of interaction, they can be rewarded in some ways with NFTs, with physical items tied to NFTs, and even within the game themselves. If you're a brand and you go into the metaverse aspect and you're like, oh, I want to advertise my brand in this new medium, then become very exciting as well, because that for the game industry, it's already very attractive for brands because the gamers are like a target audience, which is extremely looked after by the brands. It's really like the new generation, and having this kind of impact as a game developer, because I can be now the center of attention for everybody, for all the brands who can now take advantage of this new technology. Is pretty amazing. I mean, they will just be like flocking to game industry, be like, hey guys, if you can already see, like to Rami's point initially, movie industry, actually plus music industry is already much smaller than just the games industry. And I think this is gonna keep on growing because the interest will be in the metaverse and this new digital life, and obviously brands will be coming after that. You can show new products in live to your audience, in 3D, and then interact with it. And boom, it's an NFT. I mean, you can buy it. That's pretty cool to me.
So, as Yves was saying before, we're still really early in the game here. The actual impact of blockchain and NFT technology on the larger gaming industry is likely to be very small initially and grow over the next few years. I wanted to talk a little bit about Ultra's market advantage, our specific position in the market right now. While many investors are looking to large publicly traded companies for market direction, I think that the smart industry players will be watching and waiting to see how newer, more agile companies like Ultra perform before committing to integrating these technologies in their current assets. What do you think Ultra's real advantage is when it comes to blockchain-based gaming?
I think one of the key elements will be really the seamless experience. Today, if you look at what's out there, it's complicated for a gamer to just do anything. So the big advantage will be that it is actually mass market. You don't need to understand blockchain or anything around it. The distribution, of course. Right now, Steam banning an NFT blockchain-based game forces a little bit everybody to Ultra, because that's the place where you can actually publish your content. So it's really, I think, this one-stop shop environment. When you just go, you get access to all the traditional gaming, but also you are made aware of blockchain gaming without noticing. it is blockchain based. And I think that's really the big advantage in terms of blockchain based gaming.
One of the reasons, aside from the history we have together, the reason why we're interested in Ultra, because I think that they propose something that no one can propose, and a flexibility for publishers that we've not seen anywhere else. And it's early to say how it's going really to develop, but I think that all the tools that we will have our disposition to market our products, to market what's around the products, is never seen before. I think that what Ultra is proposing is something that we have not seen with any of the partners we're currently working with. We've been working with for years and been great partners. But what you guys are offering, what Ultra is offering, is something that, if it really worked the way it's supposed to work, and there is no reason why it would not, then it's going to give us, as a publisher, definitely a marketing advantage, a competitive advantage to promote our games, to reach new communities of players, and also, of course, to enter, as I was saying earlier, to enter this blockchain technology universe, which is still for a publisher, for a publisher like us, something extremely complex to tackle. But it's a good way to enter it, and we'll learn a lot of things thanks to Ultra, and hopefully it will be a win-win situation between a kind of a distributor like Ultra is, but it's not only a distributor, and publisher like us who are willing to enter this new market. So
I think there's a lot of challenges for developers and publishers because game development, like all software development, is really hard. And adding another layer of blockchain technology into the mix adds, let's be honest, more complexity on top of something which is very difficult. What do you guys think are the major challenges for publishers and game developers with regards to integrating blockchain concepts into their legacy business models?
I think it's a question of, I must say it's a question of education, frankly. It's just having the right people who understand the inner aspect, I mean, the very deep aspect of game development using this technology. And I'm not a technician, so you hit my limits. But I think that it's like the opportunity that has been created with Ultra and Microids has been for years, and it takes time to get where we are today, because it's been like 3-4 years we've been talking to. I think the next step, which is to get into a developer that has this technology, that has this understanding, is the next step. And today it's not something that is easy to find, because you need engineers, you need special skills. Like not a long time ago, we were talking about data analysis for games, which was looking, why do we need that? And today it's something that is totally necessary, and we needed this kind of skills. And that skills is really to have people who understand and then can integrate the development companies to work at the game design level, like in the mobile business, you integrate people who understand the monetization from a game design perspective. And it's the next step, and it's not an easy thing to do at this point today. I'm not sure that I have any developer in our portfolio that has those skills, but either we bring that to them, or they will have someone or developer come to us. Okay, I have this technology, I have this understanding, I can do that, and then we'll go for it. It's very simple. It's a matter of finding the skills behind the developer that can do it.
Yeah, totally. I think the reality is that you need to create new games which are designed around the new concepts, not just an existing game with a few tweaks and it works. Not going to happen, I think. It's really also you need to learn about the impact that it has on the game. So also the type of players, like traders, investors, people who are like more initially from the crypto world, how it's going to impact your game, because it has a big impact on the economy of your game. So to Yves' point, the monetization strategy and the game design are key, and it's a new way to do it. it's sort of similar to the free-to-play. When we transition from premium to free-to-play games, there is a big difference in the way you design the game. But free-to-play has already some element that can be adapted to the play-to-earn mechanics, and that's something usually when we work with studios, we are like advising at the same time. So we're like, hey, this is great. We can actually do this or that to improve the game, to make it more friendly to NFTs and blockchain. And this is usually some of the value we bring as well to the partners. So we have the exclusives and all that, and basically they rely also on us to provide this knowledge. We are lucky because we were already working in the monetization strategy in the past, so we have this experience. But bringing it with the play to earn and blockchain provides a lot of value to the game devs, and then they can, just rely on us for that.
So I wanted to close out today with a discussion about economic models as a way to grow audiences, because really, like what we've been talking about here are internal economic models that are used within games to grow the business that the game is actually built around. And I like to think of innovation in gaming not just being about higher pixel count or polygon counts, but it's not the graphics, it's the game. It's how the game is played. And there's been a lot of experimentation with new economic models, as Nicola was talking about. We've had free to play to earn, in-game economies, microtransactions, et cetera, et cetera. And really, these are kind of meta games within the game itself. And many people around the world use these economic models as a way to supplement their incomes today. What economic models do you think are the next opportunities for future growth in games?
Yeah, in terms, I think, of the economic models, you have the one where basically, so you have different way the games industry work. So you generate money, or you decrease the amount of money you spend, which makes you increase your revenue. So that's one of the aspects that can be easily done with NFTs, because there is some level of cost, but it's not crazy. But you can make some insane marketing campaign, like brutal, with like super good influencers, and make it very exciting, with tournaments, with live stream, with physical stores, and all that using the NFTs. And it can create something really, really exciting, I think, in terms of marketing. So which will be much more attractive. So it will bring more players for the same amount of money, or incentivizing also people to stay within the games I was mentioning, which also generate usually more money for the game developers. So I think those are different aspects. But generally speaking, I think it's really about the fact that you become part of this digital world, and then you have to think now, how do you touch the people which are within this digital world, and how does that generate money for your business? Because they don't have to come and see you anymore in some way. They could very well also come to see you, but just order something in the store, and it's just delivered to you directly. You don't really buy and go away with it. You know what I mean? It's really, okay, I just bought my NFT. No, I can sell it to somebody, or I can just claim it whenever I want to receive my toaster, or I don't know. This whole basically economic model is shifting with NFTs, because it's just a new way to prove you own something. And since you can prove that, you can do many things with it, and it has value that can be transferred easily. So it's a broad answer, because there is just a broad set of possibilities. And I think marketing is one of the key. And then the fact that you will be spending much more time within the metaverse and the whole ecosystem aspect. I think that's going to be also a shift that will occur. And you will see less people being real, more digitally, which is already the case for the last 2 years. So hey, I think we are just having the right technology for that. It's unfortunate, but at the same time, that's helping people. So I think that's going to be some driving forces as well.
All right, so I wanted to take some questions from the community here. More a general question around content from game developers. Will uploading of games be free for all, or will there stay a level of curation? Is there any forbidden content, like not safe for work games, or is anything allowed?
So we have, of course, a level of curation. You want basically to make sure the people behind the game are the actual real people. You don't want somebody claiming they're Microids and publishing a game when we know they are not Microids. We know who is Microids. So because we have a level of KYB, so know your business, when we onboard some publishers and developers. So no, not everything, but at the same time, once we onboard those publishers, they are free to publish their content. We of course make sure it's not hate or promoting anything negative, but still it's much more like a self-publishing platform, like you would see Steam is a self-publishing platform. Epic is highly curated on the opposite side. They say, yes, sure, we're going to have, we accept blockchain games, but first they need to accept the game. And it's like one game out of 1,000, for example. So it's much more curated. So let's say we are much more closer to Steam, like self-publishing, but we solve level of curation to avoid any potential problems.
The next question I'd like to pose to Yves, what do publishers think about NFT sales of their games, like on the secondary market?
We think it's a really great trigger to make players understand the value of NFTs. That's really at the heart, I think, of what the blockchain technology and NFT can bring to the game industry and I would say to the digital universe in general. And it's a matter of also for us to avoid a certain form of piracy, because if people understand that if they buy the game, this game has a unique value, or the NFT within has a unique value, then they might not be tempted to pirate a game because there is no value to it. What makes this technology unique is that you create something that is unique. Therefore, if you have it, you can sell it. And as for publisher, it's also a secondary market, is a way to obviously monetize your IP, monetize the work as done by publishers, by developers. And we know that today there have been a lot of question about the different business models proposed by some console manufacturers, by portals, that makes that the product is cheaper and cheaper, which makes, and the development costs are higher and higher. And secondary market will be a good way also to compensate developers and publishers for the job they've done in this regard. So we think it's a great tool for that matter.
I guess I'd like to pose a hard question for you. Do developers still need publishers?
Well, in theory, I would say there is no clear answer on that. I think if a developer has the DNA from the beginning to be a publisher, probably doesn't need a publisher, because it has someone within his company that can understand the complexity of publishing a game. And we've seen in the past some developers have been extremely successful by being their own publishers. On the other hand, you have a lot of developers that thought that they could publish by themselves, and we've seen a lot in different portals and the thing that, because thanks to the digital world, they felt that they didn't need this kind of middle company to help them to publish a game. And at the end of the day, publishing a game on the digital world is not a walk in the park. It's definitely something that requires some skills in marketing, in logistics, in data analysis, in also seizing some opportunities that are not at the heart of what a developer is. If you're talking a pure development house store, someone that is really focused on developing the product. And the publisher will be here to make sure that they exploit what the developer has done the best way for the players. Therefore, I don't think that it will be the end of the publisher, like we've seen in the past 10 years. Everyone was saying, well, publisher will disappear, and it's not the other way around, but publishers are still there. And I think it's going to be the case for the NFTs and the blockchain technology. I don't see how it's even more complex than that. See how we cannot bring our help and our value to the system and to the economy.
How the major developers are working with Ultra and its NFT standard. Do they look at already published games to incorporate that technology, or mostly upcoming ones? If so, how hard is it to add NFTs to a long time published game like World of Warcraft or League of Legends?
I think in terms of the existing titles, it's complicated because usually if you have a massive user base and then you add something, you can just think that's a good example. Diablo, right? Diablo 3, they had the marketplace that they added. It didn't work out because the game wasn't designed around it. It was the same game as before with some tweaks, Diablo 1, Diablo 2, Diablo 3 is the same idea, same concept. But you add something that is not well thought of as part of the experience. It's just added something on top of it, and it just doesn't work. We saw that they understood it quickly that, hey, don't do that. And here now, people who are making games, I think, with NFTs have to not start from scratch because you can use an existing IP, but you can't really integrate it in an existing game and make it highly successful unless it's like an existing game which really was in the decline, and then you just add some new functionalities and remodify it at its core. But that takes a lot of time and efforts. Usually the team already moved on to a new project, so very few teams are still the same and can rework the game. That's a dream. So yeah, I would say all in all, new games would be the way to go for NFTs. Long time publishing games, not so much.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that the proverb, like if it's not broken, don't fix it. For these type of games like World of Warcraft or League of Legends, I think you don't want to take the risk of adding something that already works very well from pure a player's experience and from a publishing experience of making some money out of it. So you have to be very careful. And I think the next big challenge for publishers or developers is to create a new IP that will integrate exactly what Nicolas said, will integrate this technology, but to add it to an existing IP is a very, very dangerous game to play. You can try, but it's the community not being used to. You have to be ready to face a lot of challenges. So yeah, the safest way is probably to work from scratch rather than to work from something existing.
So how do developers intend to solve the pay-to-win catch-22 without nerfing NFT items into purely skins? This is the toughest balance puzzle I see for Gen 1 NFT devs.
I would say, yeah, I totally understand the question. Now there is oftentimes a misconception between the different game models. So you have premium, free to play, and all that. Pay to win is like a model that you want to avoid within your freemium game, for example. But you have what is called pay to progress, which is what should be the goal with NFTs as well. Is if you spend some money to get an NFT that brings value to you, not just a skin, it helps you to reach a certain level within the game where you fight with other people of the same level. So it helps you to jump the queue in a sense and go play with the big boys, which is the same model for the freemium. Usually for freemium, free to play, when you spend money, it just doesn't allow you to be better than others. It just allows you to be at the same level as some people who play the game for a long time. And that's similar with NFTs. So it won't be a problem as long as people develop the game and design it in a way that makes sense as well. Pay to win is like it's been there like in the early days of free to play, but not so much anymore. Not so many games are doing that because it just doesn't work.
Yeah, I think that you tackled the right. I mean, you gave the accurate answer when you propose something to player that they don't want, or that I would say the game design is not appropriate through monetization or this type of thing. You're immediately punished, and that's exactly what happened with this business model. And it will probably not be the case for the way we're going to use NFTs in our games. It's the next challenge for us is to make sure that we give something to the player that they understand why they're paying something and why they can take advantage of it, and not being the impression to being set up for the pleasure of the publisher, if I can say that.
What properties are Microids intending to launch on the Ultra platform?
It's a secret. No, I can share with you no, I can definitely. I mean, at this point today, it's a very good question, and we are thinking about 2 or 3 properties we think that have some value in this world. The first one is definitely our own IP called Siberia. That will come very soon on PC and then on console next year, and we think that we will be able to use NFTs to promote the game. That's the way we start. We're not obviously integrate in the game design NFTs. We're not at this level yet. I said that earlier. We're also working with our dear friends, Oddworld Inhabitants, and they are the one promoting on digital world Soulstorm, and I think that there will be some opening for them, and I will talk to them about the way we can integrate the game in the ultra world in a way or another. These are properties that are suitable for the use of the technology, and it will be part of a discussion we'll have with the developers, with the IP owner, and obviously with Ultra.
Yeah, it's pretty cool because I've played most of those games, including Cyber Reform coming, I think, in a few days from now. So it's going to be really cool to see the new and upcoming game. And yeah, looking forward to the other ones as well.
I wanted to thank Yves and Nicholas for joining us today. Thanks to all the Ultra fans out there. Make sure to subscribe and share this episode wide and far. See you next time, and keep it ultra chill.